Alt season, the word on everyone's tongue right now, as these markets keep on moving up, keep on heating up, and keep moving the way they are doing. So, what is an alt season? How do we know it's triggered? And can we guess an estimate when it will be? These are three questions that we're going to dive into today. So, without wasting time, come and join me. Let's go. What is alt season? In a nutshell, without going too in depth until a little bit later, alt season is where altcoins have brilliant moments, brilliant runs, epic pumps, and everyone is basically a millionaire out of nowhere. That's the way it feels, doesn't it? Especially if anyone's got experience from the last alt runs or the last alt seasons. What happens is, guys, Bitcoin usually holds a lot of the control of the market. So if Bitcoin goes down, usually the market is going down. And if Bitcoin goes up, usually the market goes up. During alt seasons, things can get a little bit different. So just a couple of examples. Bitcoin will go up, but altcoins will explode much higher than the rate of Bitcoin increasing. Bitcoin can go sideways, and other coins are going absolutely bonkers. And the one that confuses people, and it's the hard one for a lot of people to navigate, Bitcoin can start pulling back and dropping on its own right. But a lot of altcoins can still keep not only performing, but absolutely skyrocketing as Bitcoin drops. It is a indicator to show that the alt market has now gained control and Bitcoin doesn't have as much control at that point, and altcoins are off to the races. So let's jump into some charts and let's go through some metrics and let's go through some pointers on how we can explore, how to navigate a potential coming alt season. This is Bitcoin dominance's chart. This is a 4-hour time frame, and I am going to take this to the high time frames as we go through this video. So Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, it is dropping right now. What does that signal? That is basically signaling that altcoins are really taking a lot of the market cap away from Bitcoin. So Bitcoin currently is kind of stable in where it's at, but we've got so many coins in this market moving up. And as that happens, if too many are moving up at once, especially your big coins such as Ethereum, your XRPs, your Cardanos, and so forth, that is really going to start dragging dominance down. So what we'll also do, as well, just here, actually, sorry, going into this weekend, there was a support break at this point. So this area was a support for the dominance of Bitcoin, and it's broken below. And if you head over to yesterday's video or the previous video, we went through this in a little bit less in depth. But as you can see, this breakdown today on Bitcoin dominance equals that the alt market continues to keep rallying into this weekend. I'm just going to take this over onto the high time frames because I also have a very, very big thought process on this and a really big outlook. I can do a lot more on this on its own on another video, but we'll leave that to a future date. This is the weekly time frame on Bitcoin dominance, and this is just some of my guesstimations, expectations on what we could and could have seen. Now, usually bull runs themselves and alt seasons do start to trigger officially when Bitcoin dominance is high. So in 2017-18, coming off the back of 2016, there was a huge drop, like a roller coaster shape dip on the way down. That was actually very much due to your likes of Ethereums and your XRPs, Digibytes, and your really older coins that were being made just into that 2016-17 rally. And that took a lot of the dominance of Bitcoin. And there was your 2017-18 bull run. The bear markets tend to come as Bitcoin dominance gets to a point where it can't keep going any lower. And Bitcoin at some point will gain control of the market, normally in the viewpoint of a bear market to start with. And a lot of people start taking profits out of their altcoins, and they've got two decisions. They go back into USDT or back into stables or back into fiat currencies, or they rotate that into Bitcoin or a bit of both. So then we went into the 2020 and 20 bull run just from here, and that was from another high level. One thing you should be noticing here, there is a high and there is a higher low. And currently, there has been a breakout on this trend, as you can see. But currently, there is still another higher low on the overall Bitcoin dominance trend, which is something that we all want to keep on seeing if we want to get into an alt season this time around. Yes, I'm doing some predictions here on where the next bear markets might come. We're not here to say it's definitely going to happen at them levels, but this is a roadmap mainly for myself and mainly for the people that follow me, especially in the Patreon. So the link will be down here somewhere. Feel free to join us if you want. So the expectation here, people, would be Bitcoin dominance falling low, and that's where the bear market might commence. Now, because we've got so many coins in circulation, and we've also got ETFs coming for a lot of the big coins, such as Ethereum, such as Solana, and so forth. Could Bitcoin dominance actually go lower than the 2018 to 2019, where the bear market started? We will find out. No one actually knows, but this is just an observation that I have my eye really keen and focused on. One of them big questions is, how do we know we're getting into alt season territory and how does it look? We're going to use Bitcoin dominance again, but we're also going to look at a couple of other things here. One of them being Ethereum against Bitcoin. Now, in the previous video, we was actually looking at this just here. If you watch back, and this was a really key textbook chart pattern, which is there for you to go and view. And then we had this breakout, and without sounding cocky and cheesy, as expected. That's something that you hear quite a lot on YouTube, I'm assuming. But as expected, there was a breakout because Ethereum against Bitcoin is looking mega. Okay, so if we just go back to Bitcoin dominance very, very briefly, you'll notice there is a green line at this point. So in and around 50% dominance is one trigger. It's one alt season trigger on top of many that we need that help tell us that we have headed into that really big alt season category. Why? Well, if Bitcoin dominance is falling below 50%, that now means it's handed over the majority of its dominance to the alt market. Whilst it's above 50%, in many technical ways, we're actually not in an alt season. Yes, you can have a meme season, you can have a low cap season, you can have many different types of seasons of narratives, but alt season is when everything, in theory, is rallying in unison, give or take. So what we need Bitcoin dominance, first of all, to break over key levels. 55% would be awesome. That's a trigger. And then breaking below 50%, that is pretty much confirmation that, well, one big confirmation that the bull run and the alt bull run has started to kick off. But if we go back to Ethereum dominance here, Ethereum against Bitcoin is getting really, really strong right now, is because either it's pulling away, it's taking away the dominance of Bitcoin, or Bitcoin is getting weaker and it's handing over to Ethereum. That's kind of like, does a bear, you know what, in the woods? I'll go through that in a different video. So as we look at the small time frames just for a second, again, people, now you have that breakout here because, like I've mentioned, Ethereum is getting really strong against Bitcoin. And is it putting in a similar? It is a little bit too soon to say, but we will see. But right now, it is looking good. It is looking strong currently. So let's head into the slightly higher time frames. So we're going to go off into the 3 days. And as you can see here, first of all, Ethereum against Bitcoin is starting to make a big move. Let's get rid of the big green arrow for now, from a very key area in the market. In my opinion, of course, but we have 2 to 3 very big signals, we call them signals in these markets, to come to again give us more alt season triggers. So it goes to the question that we're also going to be answering on this video. Can someone tell you when alt season? We hear it all the time, and a lot of people ask me all the time, when will alt season be? I just want people from this point on to remember, alt season is not a date, it is data. It's so much easier to navigate alt season when you're looking at the data at hand than guessing the date. It's easier to go from level to level, structure to structure, and range to range on anything in markets than just predicting what could happen in 3 to 6 months' time, whilst basically being blindfolded. So we do have a very, very important level. I would actually go a little bit higher just into here, kind of breaks this area and it breaks us out of this kind of resistance here. So we're going to be looking, let's change the colors on these for the purpose of the video. We're going to be looking at 0.046 Satoshis, okay, which is basically partial of a Bitcoin. That's going to be a big signal one that we are moving off into, again, the alt season that everyone is really wanting to see. We then could give ourselves a level here at 0.055, but the key level for me, and this would be an absolute epic level, we'd be looking in 0.061 to 62. These two levels are mightily important. This is going to be great. What I'm kind of guessing and what I'm thinking we could be seeing here, as Ethereum against Bitcoin does head up to 0.046, we have likely gone and then witnessed Bitcoin dominance down to around about 55%. When we see, or if we see Ethereum break above this level, I really do think we would, to be honest. I think then we would be looking at that breakdown of 50% dominance. These markets kind of go in unison, but vice versa. One's going down, one's going up. That is very, very often what happens. A couple of things that a lot of people don't pay attention to as well is dominance on stable coins. Only recent times people have been looking into these, but I've been using these for a hell of a long time. So this is something else. It's a massive confluential method that we're using here. It's not doing everything blindfolded, and we're not guessing, oh, on the 20th of January when Donald Trump gets elected, well, sorry, when he goes into power, that alt season just triggers. We're just watching it daily and weekly. So if we move over to USDT dominance, this is actually the dominance of stable coins. Stable coin dominance coming down can usually mean, very, very often can mean, that people are taking out their stable coins. So you're using your stable coin and you are buying something in the market with that stable coin. Could it be Bitcoin? Yes, of course it can. And can it be the alt market? Of course it can. So this is where this gets important. Yeah, stablecoin dominance can come down during Bitcoin season. That's not the video. We're looking at alt season. So is Ethereum strong? Is Doge strong? Is XRP, Cardano, Sui, and all the big coins in these markets, are they looking strong? But stablecoin dominance is coming down. Where could these stablecoins very likely be deployed to, and where are they being deployed to? Altcoins. So just here, you might see me, I've already planned the alt season, and I'm predicting alt season below 3.8% on dominance on USD. So the dominance of Tether. At the moment, we've got this breakdown here, perfect textbook breakdown, nice deviation above, back below, and we could be putting in, I've done these chart patterns on previous videos, but this one is a textbook head and shoulder pattern, which is bearish, which is what we all want if you are a crypto bull. And if you're a crypto bear, I would be really worried currently, and I would have been worried for a hell of a long time if I was you. And then there is a potential neckline, which we are now waiting for it to be broken down. Guys, if you want it a bit neater, you just simply head over onto your tools, go onto your horizontal, and there would be the neckline that we need to break down. What we should see USDC.D dominance, okay, looking quite similar. Now, Tether is bigger, but it's still a stable coin. So is it moving similar? And it is. So there is something similar of a head and shoulders, both mirroring one another. Really, really, really good view. Really good to look at. Let's make this neat again, shall we? Why not? Why not? We do it on a trend because it is sloping a little bit. There we are. And we are also waiting for that breakdown. And what we're waiting for here is 1.1% on the USDC to break down. And we are waiting for the dominance of USDT.D, which is Tether's, to break below 3.8. When all these come in together in unison, this can very, very often just light the alt season firework like no tomorrow. So yes, these markets are high currently, and we know they are high, and they keep continuing. If we hit alt season, the chances of continuation are extremely likely. I will be doing a slight bit of bonus content at the end of this, but I just wanted to reiterate, this is not about guessing. It's more of a foresight. It's a prediction. It's just ensuring that we are using our experience that I have and many other people have in this market who have been through bull runs and alt seasons before. We're setting out our own roadmap to get ourselves into alt season positioned sensibly. If Bitcoin dominance is coming down, that usually means that the alt market can be looking to increase. If the alt market is going up and stable coins are coming down, that is now a secondary measure to say that we have just headed or heading into alt season, because altcoins are now clearly gaining strength as Bitcoin is doing its own thing, potentially still going up, going sideways, or even going down. That can still be an alt season. We're just going to move on to one last thing. Now, this is actually a very well-known chart now for a lot of people, and there is other variants, but it all falls in line with the same concept. Very, very simply, let's just go through the things that we want to know the most. Bull runs, bear markets. So Bitcoin dominance increasing. So it's the opposite of what we've been looking at today and what we want today. But with dominance increasing and Bitcoin increasing, altcoins can actually decrease. And you've seen that maybe a little bit of 2023 and a little bit of 2024. If you've got dominance increasing, but Bitcoin itself, the price of Bitcoin decreasing, now that is where you see the extremely rapid dumps on the alt market. And if it is on a really large macro type of look, the high time frame look, that is often your start of the bear market. Goes into what we was mentioning earlier. You do not want Bitcoin dominance rapidly increasing if you are a mega bull, and with Bitcoin decreasing, it just means a lot of liquidity is flushing out the market, but it's flushing out of altcoins much faster than it is out of Bitcoin. Then we go to these two, and you got the other ones in between. You got your accumulation phases, but we've got the ones that we all want. This is the main one. We want Bitcoin dominance to decrease, but we want Bitcoin itself to increase at the same time. If Bitcoin dominance is decreasing, but the price of Bitcoin is increasing, that basically means that other coins are just outperforming Bitcoin no matter what, even regardless that Bitcoin itself is on the way up. And currently, I feel like we're in this level right now. I don't think that the market is gone anywhere near them parabolic type of views. There's still a lot of coins, including Ethereum, that needs to break its previous all-time highs. And when that does, we would likely see this. So currently, we are likely here. We've got Bitcoin dominance decreasing, but we do have currently a slight stable look on Bitcoin. It's not doing anything too crazy right now like it was the other week and the other month. It's somewhat stable, but its dominance is falling. We can very, very likely be going from this into this within the next couple of weeks or a couple of months. Maybe, just maybe, we get what we call a Santa rally. We all want that. And that is an alt season summed up as nutshelled as possible. It's not about guessing alt seasons. I see so many guesses. We see so many dates. You know, it's going to happen on the 18th of January at 4 o'clock. And them things definitely don't exist. But we can certainly use charts and experience and actual logic to determine if we are going into an alt season or not. And there is a lot of signs and signals out there today that we are heading into what could be a very, very good alt season. So hopefully you like this content. Please drop a follow, drop some comments and recommendations for anything else you would like me to go through. Drop us follows in the socials as well. We're on Twitter, we're on Patreon, we're on TikTok, we're on many places if you want to find us. And that's it from me. All the best. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.